Hello and welcome to future YouTube viewers to this video in which we will be covering a channel called Liberal Hivemind. Now this is one of those situations where I just want to throw the channel up and I want us all to experience it at the same time, okay? Get ready, strap in and prepare yourselves. Here we go. Just take it in, okay? just take it all in. I love this. This makes me think of like the "I'm in" hacker voice thing. Do you know what I mean? Hacker Pepe. Yeah. This. Yeah, this is like a third grade 4chan user made the header. Hacker Pepe. I love the fact it's called Liberal Hivemind as well. It's just such a good name. Anyway, didn't they get the memo?
Still watching you, BB.
Cowgirl Amy Colonel. Thank you very much for the donation. 208. Yeah. He knows how to hit his audience, that's true. Listen, 281k subs, yeah. Yeah, this has got big Kekistani vibes as well. Okay, let's have a look. So yeah, this is like a lot of the Chud font, yeah. What you mean? This like font for the what do you call it? This like the font for the thumbnails, yeah. So this again, this is obviously quality over quantity. The thing is though, if you look, it's lazy, but it gets the views. Like some of these videos have got like hundreds of thousands of views. Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy to do this. It's so easy. You get 281k subs doing this. It's just... Is it Criterion font? How many are from retirement homes and school computer labs? Listen, sorry, just a quick aside. I was banned from Twitter. Okay, I'm a victim of cancel culture. I was banned from Twitter. I've had 2 accounts banned. So there is an account you can follow on Twitter. Okay, it's called Irrational Chad. It's a friend of mine. Oh, for fuck's sake, I didn't mean to do that. Go and check it out. Okay. This isn't Tim Pool, no. This is Liberal. This is Liberal Hivemind. Okay, listen. Let's get into a video. Do you know who Charles Barkley is? God, these videos all look so boring. I don't know. I guess. Oh God, I don't know. I can't even decide which one to watch. I was thinking of this one. What's this? Sick rioters blind. Okay, liberal. Just do this one. Oh, Liberals leaving the Democrat Party. Okay, let's do that then. We just got to wait for this to enable. Liberals are leaving Democrat Party as Dem leaders enable mayhem. Moderates are defecting to Trump. Okay. I question whether moderates are in fact. Oh my God. I'm cringing already. The cringe levels are just, oh, it actually hurts. We know they don't have Pepe. Listen, they should use groypers. Did they not get the memo? It's so loud as well. Okay, come on. Welcome to the Liberal Hive.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely
Oh my god, they've got a Branko cartoon. They're opening up with a Branko cartoon. No, that's not a groyper. That is just a Pepe. Opening up with a Branko cartoon, and it says meme of the day. Some boomer ass, right wing cartoonist is the meme of the day. Listen, this person can't be older than 30. This is what we mean when we say boomer is a state of mind. Yeah, unironic Branko posting. And you've got driving... You've got driving Miss Crazies. Branko's taken ideas from obviously Ben Garrison and having to label everything. So like... Listen, I love it when cartoonists are so concerned that the quality of their art is that bad that they have to label everything just in case people misunderstand what's what. So yeah, they've labeled President Biden. This is like a real insecurity about your art. That you're like, oh god, I better label it in case people don't realise. And then Pelosi saying turn left and AOC saying no, hard left. This is basically just saying like, oh yeah, the Democrats are turning, they're trying to turn the Democrats left, but like people like AOC are trying to make them communist. And also like, where's his arm? Listen. Where's the arm? He's only got one arm. This doesn't make any sense. Also, why has he drawn the joke? Why has he drawn Biden as the Joker? Like he's drawn Biden as the Joker. Just floating fingers, yeah. No hands or arms, just fingers. I'm the Joker, baby. That's what I think when I see this. I don't know, Pelosi looks kind of okay, I guess, but AOC looks kind of like a caricature, a certain caricature, should we say? I don't know if that's intentional or not. Anyway, look, enough of this meme analysis. The fact that this fella's called this the meme of the day, like that's just incredible to me. Anyway, come on.
Focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, the narrative for the last, let's say, month or so has been President Trump is grasping for air, his re-election campaign is failing, and Joe Biden's ahead by double digits. It's going to be a landslide in 2020 for the Democrat Party. But if you followed my channel, we've analyzed this pretty much from start to finish, and there are many signs pointing to a silent majority rising up. There's been this notion of the quote-unquote secret Trump supporter, which is looming in the mind of liberals everywhere. It's the new boogeyman. So there was a new poll recently that says 57% of voters, whether
grasping for air. Listen, this is the problem, isn't it? That's the point of dog whistles, is they're supposed to be a bit uncertain. A little bit uncertain. So if you make a step to say, oh, this is this or this is that, they've got that plausible deniability. They've got that plausible deniability to pull the rug out from under your feet and be like, no, I didn't mean grasping for breath like that. What are you talking about? You unhinged lefty. You see Nazis everywhere. You know, that sort of thing.
they're voting for Biden or Trump believe that there's a constituency of secret Trump voters, and that fear may be legitimate. And to back up that exact point, Eric Weinstein had a viral tweet that's blowing up in conservative circles, and there was an editorial piece on the New York Post alluding to the exact same thing, that Joe Biden doesn't have the support that the mainstream media is pretending he has. As he keeps moving further and further to the left, moderates are finding themselves disenchanted with the Democrat Party. And the question is, why wouldn't they be? The Democrats have sided with lawlessness, literally defending Antifa on the streets. In fact, they just gave Joy Reid her own show, who's notorious for defending Antifa on her Twitter account. They have sided sided with Antifa, one and the same. And moderate voters, I believe, will be turned off by that exact notion. So we've got a ton of stuff to cover today. We've got polls, we've got...
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is like... stuff like this is sometimes kind of hard to react to because obviously it's just like a lot of content and information, a lot of bad information. Just so there's this accusation they're siding with Antifa, they're defending Antifa. There's this accusation that like Biden is moving to the left. It's a gish gallop, yeah, sure, but that's the way that these videos work. They're obviously not intended to be broken down like this. I guess it is literally just intended to flood someone's mind with nonsense. But yeah, look, Biden is running on a platform of progressive policies. Now, I appreciate there's a discussion around whether he'll implement those policies or not. And at this exact time, I'm not really interested in that discussion. And I'll tell you why. It's because that discussion has been had endlessly for months in lefty circles. And I'm so sick of the Biden discourse. Okay? I'm so sick of it. Let's put that to one side for a second, okay? If you kind of analyse the policies that are being proposed, okay? Oh God, Dario's in chat, isn't he? Dario, no. I would say that there's definitely forget that it's Biden that's running on the policies, okay? I think if you look plainly at the policies, you could fairly say that there's some policies in there that you could place. Broadly speaking, like that, there's nothing. I wouldn't say that there's anything on Biden's platform that's as radical as, say, Bernie Sanders' prison reform policy that Bernie Sanders was running on. Yeah, I don't think there's anything quite as radical as that. But I think there's certainly policies that you would place on the centre left of the political spectrum. The point I'm making, okay, is that to suggest that this is like a hard turn to the left, to me, is like largely inaccurate. I would say that largely the policy platform that he's running on, forget about whether Biden's going to implement it or not, but if you actually look policy by policy, you could say, broadly speaking, it's like a centre-left platform, yeah? So I'm not looking to instigate Biden discourse. The only point I'm trying to make is it's hysterical to describe what seems to me to be fairly, mediocre centre-left policies as hard left. Now, one thing to bear in mind with me saying that is obviously I live in the UK. So it's always difficult to look at Biden's policies from the UK perspective because I'm kind of used to having just healthcare free at the point of service. Do you see what I mean? Most healthcare anyway. So it is a bit weird considering that you don't have that over there. But in any case, what I'm really trying to hit home here is the level of hysteria around calling Biden and his platform kind of hard left in any way. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense? Do you see the point I'm trying to get across here? Anyway.
An article, we've got a tweet, and we have a clip from Portland. So we're going to get into all of that, but before we do, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video, since that's by far the best thing you can do to support the channel. Follow me on Twitter, links in the description. Check out my subscribe star, link is also in the description. With that out of the way, let's roll the tape. So let's start off with this article right here from CNN Politics. It says 2020's latest boogeyman, quote unquote, secret Trump voters. A new Monmouth poll shows presumptive Democrat nominee Joe Biden with a 13-point lead in Pennsylvania, making it yet another swing state with good polling news for the former VP. But it also seems that most Pennsylvanians are skeptical. A majority, 57%, believe there's a constituency of secret Trump voters. These people believe that there are a number of so-called secret voters in their communities who support President Donald Trump but won't tell anyone about it. And this idea...
Wait. So, hang on. Is it like a wild conspiracy, or is it actually something that is happening? This secret Trump voter to this person, I mean. He's presenting it as oh, it's this boogeyman, but also he's saying people are defecting the Democratic Party and are voting for Trump. This is a bit incoherent. But yeah, it goes back to this. We've watched quite a few videos recently with this idea that coming out as a conservative is like coming out as LGBT. Despite the fact that like you can quite comfortably speak out in support of the president and the status quo. Generally speaking, broadly speaking, you are able to speak out in support of the status quo without penalty, without problem. Okay, there might be a few social situations that you put under a little bit of social pressure if you admit to supporting Donald Trump, for example, but this is just playing into the conservative victimhood narrative of like, oh, you can't even call yourself a conservative these days, right?
Of secret Trump voters, we've covered it many times. Yes, there is an element of people who support the president and want to keep it secret and may even be deceiving the pollsters, but for the most part, these secret Trump supporters are actually not so secret whatsoever. They're just not being polled. And that's the white working class. The exact same issues that we saw from 2016
Oh my
polling.
God, this is so classic. Look, he says white working class, and he throws up this image of like the kind of 1950s imagination of what a working class person looks like, with the dirty faces and like the blue collar job. This is the meme. The white working class, okay, doesn't just include, I'm making presumptions here. Obviously, I don't know what these dudes are about. But in any case, it's not just like cisgender heterosexual white dudes. Like the white working class could like refer to, for example, white gay people, could refer to white trans people. I think he's trying to target the Pennsylvania working class specifically, aka coal and steel. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. People that work in Walmart are working class. People that work in retail. People that work in offices. Yeah. It's like a hyper-specific focus on one very small slice of the working class, right?
Is happening once again in 2020. The accuracy within smaller states, and specifically swing states, is skewed because they're not polling uneducated white voters. And so yes, there should be a fear.
I mean, is there a citation for that? I don't know. My understanding with the polling in 2016 is that it was, although some states went Trump when they were supposed to go Hillary, that was within like the margin of error of the polling, right? It was obviously unusual, but it wasn't because of any. They didn't survey like uneducated white working class people. I don't know. That's not something I've heard before. I'd be fascinated to see if there's a citation for this, but I doubt we're going to get it, to be honest with you.
Of the silent majority. And speaking of that silent majority, this is a tweet that you might have seen on a couple different YouTube channels or on Twitter because it went pretty viral. Eric Weinstein on Twitter writes, a surprising number of left-leaning people are confiding to me that they are planning to vote for Trump for two different stated leading reasons: Biden's mental decline and what is happening in the Pacific Northwest with Democratic mayors, governors experimenting with non-policing. And this is
I would question how left-leaning someone is if they're going to vote for Trump, to be perfectly honest with you, okay? I mean, listen, who's Eric Weinstein friends with here? Thanks for the bits, Dr. Butler.
If there's such a silent majority, perhaps we should abolish the Electoral College and see what happens, Chief.
Listen. I think... okay, first of all, I love the fact that this is like... So this is the citation here is a tweet from some hack, Eric Weinstein, right? And like, who is Eric Weinstein friends with that's left-leaning? Like people are saying in chat, Tim Pool and Dave Rubin. Listen, I'm fairly certain that this tweet is in reference purely to Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. But anyway, listen. Yeah, exactly, probably Puncher, I agree with you. But anyway, listen, putting that to one side for a second, I love the fact that the citation this fella's given is Eric Weinstein, just a random tweet. He's made quite a bold assertion that there's a certain aspect of people that aren't being polled for this data, and his source is basically like, source, trust me bro, or source, it came to me in a dream. He might as well just throw that up. That's just as good as throwing up a tweet from some biased hack like Eric Weinstein.
This is pretty much clear. In fact, it was just a New York ABC poll that came out that said 64% of Americans oppose the defund the police movement and their key goals. 64% oppose and 34% support. And the key here is this. Republicans almost uniformly disapprove of defunding the police at 89%, redistributing the money 86%. But the most important thing is that independents largely fall along the similar lines as Americans as a whole. 67% of independents oppose defunding the police and 59% being against stripping funding from the police department to boost community-based support programs. So of course we know that Democrats will follow the herd no matter what they say. Jump like a kangaroo, and they'll jump to work every.
Oh my god. Okay, obviously absurd meme. Is there some truth in that? I mean, obviously Republicans love the police, so they're not going to want to defund them. I think this is like a lesson in like terms of maybe optics and how you present stuff to like the mainstream. But then, you know, I think if someone was engaging in like advocacy with like IRL people, you're not gonna go up to someone and be like, hey, ACAB, let's defund the police. You would present it in a way that's going to be appealing to them, right? Do you see what I mean? Like, we get into the memes and stuff online, and we like to talk about ACAB and all this stuff, which, you know, I don't really have a massive issue with. Personally, I engage in some of the spicy memes myself. But in any case, I think that, like, if you're trying to advocate for someone to support what your vision of the police is, you would do it in a way that's going to make sense to them, right? Do you see what I mean? But yeah, mainstream Democrats don't want to defund the police. They don't know what defund the police means. If they were better informed, they'd poll differently. Do you know what? I don't actually necessarily disagree with that, to be honest with you. I think that, yeah, if people had more information about some of this stuff, then there's every chance that they think differently about it. But in the meantime, you've got to speak their language, right? Janelle, you've absolutely hit the nail on the head. This is exactly what I'm speaking to. So if you ask people, do you support removing non-criminal responsibilities from the police and giving them to community organisations, it would probably poll way better. So yeah. Oh, hey, Kez, thanks for the raid. Yeah, completely agree with you, Janelle. It's absolutely, that is what I'm speaking to. You know, you speak the language of the person that you're conversing with, right? So yeah. Anyway. This meme, a picture of liberals waiting on CNN to tell them what to be offended by next, and they're just like sheep. Notice it's an impact font meme as well. God, these memes. They say the left can't meme, and this is what they muster. A meme that could easily be from like this is from the archives. They've had to dust this one off.
Every morning, bark like a dog, and they'll bark out the window every morning when the mailman steps at their doorfront. This is the Democrat constituency, but independents, which is probably the most important demographic when trying to win the general election, are firmly ahead at nearly 70% opposing defunding the police. And with Joe Biden committing that he wanted to defund the police and start diverting funding, and Chris Wallace, you were completely wrong when you said that he never stated that, because
do we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's not going to bode well with independents, which is how you win some of these battleground and swing states, not to mention all of the other far left-leaning policies that Biden has now implemented with the Biden-Sanders platform. And speaking of the Bernie Sanders-Biden platform, here's an article.
Far left policies. I don't know. What's far left? I must have missed the policy about implementing communism, I guess.
That also went pretty much mega viral at the top of RCP this morning. From Miranda Devine, beware the Biden-Sanders radical lefty manifesto. Joe Biden signed the death warrant for his campaign last week, even if he doesn't know it. The joint manifesto he released with Bernie Sanders is 110 pages of far left radical policies, from a job-killing $2 trillion climate agenda to eliminate.
Wait, what's far? The idea that they just pin the far left is a boogeyman, right? Like, I mean. Oh damn! Oh god! Did I change the stream title? Oh no! Sorry, I've moved on from there. Damn, we've already covered that. Sorry. This is good though. This is good. Oh man! No one told me to change the stream title. It's your fault, viewers. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry about that. This is better content. Yeah, I like this content. Yeah, they do all sound the same. They all sound. It actually sounds like no BS. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, obviously it's like yes, it's modern day McCarthyism. Just everything's far left. Everything I don't like is far left. The more I don't like it, the further left it is.
Eliminating cash bail and dismantling border protection. It betrays the working class voters Biden claims to represent and destroys any pretense.
I mean, these policies if implemented would help working class voters. I'm pretty sure working class voters are going to benefit from not turning our planet into a cinder, right? That's going to be pretty beneficial to the working class. And the thing is as well, is like dismantling border protection. They've obviously got a very protectionist mindset, but like there's people outside of the borders of America that are working class. People that are in Mexico, there's lots of working class people in Mexico that would benefit from that. But obviously they look at it purely through the frame of like white dudes that work in a coal mine. Like that's the people that they're concerned with.
That he is a quote-unquote moderate, and this is what I always say: the Democrats always hurt the exact constituencies that they pretend to be champions of. Biden is always running as the Delaware boy who's the man of the working class, but he's also the man who signed in NAFTA to law and killed 850,000 jobs since its signing. The lack of opportunity that we see in Ohio, Detroit, and other areas is directly related to how Joe Biden voted during his political tenure. He's campaigning as the man who's going to fix race relations, but he's also the man who didn't sign, actually wrote or co-wrote the 1994 crime bill, which disproportionately affected minority communities, sending many fathers in prison, but he's the man to do policing.
I absolutely love the way that they pretend to care about this stuff because it benefits their narrative. And they just completely disregard, completely ignore any of the pernicious aspects of Trump's position on race, politics, and so on. Yeah. The coal industry is, of course, in a massive downturn. It's memeing on the idea that like the coal industry is important, I guess. Yeah, it's actually a good point, Evelyn. Bernie Sanders was actually fairly protectionist in his perspectives. He was very concerned about American jobs and whatnot, you know. Populists tend to have a degree of protectivist kind of aspects to their policy positions. These people have such a skewed perspective on what left is. Isn't that true? That is very true.
Form. And she completely dismantles some of his points, like right here. She quotes him by saying, within 5 years, we will install 500 million solar panels, including 8 million solar roofs and community solar energy systems, 1,000 Made in America wind turbines. Note there's no mention of Made in America solar panels. The only way to install 500 million solar panels in 5 years is to buy them from China and other countries, such as Australia, which have gone down this exact path. The result is cheap, shoddy solar systems that fall apart within 5 years.
I mean, obviously, like, we're getting the citation from an article that probably hasn't got any citations. But yeah, you know, the thing is with some of this stuff is this is like a systemic critique as well. Do you know what I mean? It's all rhetorical, lib mindset, cringe guy. True. We've got several solar companies building solar panels stateside right now. Yeah, sure. So... I've not heard this happening in Australia. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. Yeah, sure. This is the problem, is these articles that the people cite. Like, he cited a tweet from someone, from some hack, and now he's citing this article, and I've got my doubts about the truth of the information contained within.
Years. And if you guys remember, Obama said the exact same thing, and they tried making solar farms in California, which was a complete fail. In fact, he campaigned on it, and it was a promise that he wasn't able to keep. We're going through the exact same thing. Leave energy innovation to the free market. If anyone's going to figure out this whole solar panel or changing the energy makeup of the world, it's going to be Elon Musk and not Joe Biden.
Oh my god, we've got the Elon Musk bootlicking now as well. Leave it to the free market. The free market is you know, like, why would we trust the free market with that? Like, look where the free market's gotten us to. Do you know what I mean? I live in Cali and it wasn't a fail. The free market could also just buy from China. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, what if we leave it to the free market and they want to buy everything for China? This is the problem with these videos. Again, they just fire all of this information at you over and over and over again. And if you don't think about it in any critical sense, you might just take this all on board and think this is all true. It's content like this which explains how you end up with these boomers on Twitter or whatever. Not even boomers in age, boomers in mindset that have all these wrong takes on things. The free market only ever does things I think would be good. Yeah, exactly.
With government bureaucracy, the free market does this best. But let's get off Joe Biden for a second and go back to that Eric Weinstein tweet talking about Democrats becoming disaffected with the Democrat
and
Party.
Also, we've touched on this already, but the free market is ensured. Like obviously, because it's cheaper to produce goods abroad, the free market takes advantage of that and has lots of things made abroad, right? Pause Andy. Yeah, I'm a pause Andy, okay? It is what it is. Look, we're back to this tweet again. We're citing Eric Weinstein again. Brilliant.
More specifically, Democrat leaders. Democrat leadership has pretty much failed across the board when it comes to riots, the pandemic, and of course, just regulating crime and basic things in their city. And people are sick of that. You saw 64% of Americans, including 67% of independents, don't support defunding the police, in many cases which has led to a skyrocket in crime. Well, right now in Portland, there is a massive red pill being handed out in droves. The president is the only man fighting up for businesses, fighting up for the average working man, and fighting for average citizens, while the Democrats sow chaos, enable chaos, but pretend as though everything's fine. Whenever they cover Antifa or protests in Portland, they always make it seem as if the police officers are the aggressors, and the protesters are just peaceful protesters that are having their human rights violated by the federal officers that were sent there by the president. And
wait, that's a good meme. There's a piece of talent there. He managed to get Elon's balls in his throat while tonguing his boots. I really don't understand this this weird kind of is it a parasocial thing? Maybe you would call it. I don't know, but people have got this weird obsession with Elon Musk. Like he's just he's just a rich dude. He's just a wealthy dude. Have you smelled his mask? He's Iron Man. I love this Hivemind guy to talk to Vosh, yeah. He smells like leather and the blood of exploited labour. I mean, Elon Musk is there's an expertise there in terms of, well, sometimes there is. He's had some really dumb takes about the COVID-19 situation, which have made him look really stupid, but he presents himself as this Iron Man type figure, right? Like, that's the dream. He shows what you can do when you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and your dad has a Gambian emerald mine. Such a good meme. Oh, what's this anyway? Is this Antifa? Are these the Antifa operatives of the Antifa organisation known as Antifa? Look, which one's the head of Antifa? Who's the CEO?
DOJ. But of course, that narrative falls flat on its face. Check out this video, which is being passed all over the place in conservative circles on Twitter.
About 3 hours later, a secondary group of demonstrators showed up, and they were carrying baseball bats. That group then marched south on 5th Avenue towards the headquarters building, and while en route to the SPD headquarters building, the group damaged businesses along the way. They also damaged the old federal courthouse that's on 5th Avenue. Once the group reached headquarters...
Oh no, not a federal building. Won't someone think of the federal buildings? Listen. Okay. Obviously, like small business owners and stuff, yeah, I don't think the buildings should be targeted. It has happened on some occasions, I disagree with that. But yeah, I don't care about like a federal building getting damaged. So... And yeah, I have seen like some people try and downplay it as like, oh, it's okay, they just got insurance so they can fix it easily. Like, listen, a small business owner getting their business destroyed is bad, and it's bad news, okay? I disagree with that, and it has happened. And you know, I think we should be honest enough to say, hey, look, that's happened. I disagree with it. It shouldn't have happened. Okay, but like, yeah, federal buildings and stuff, absolutely, or like a corporate-owned, like some massive corporation like Target. Yeah, that's a different kettle of fish. Do you know what I mean? Destroy big business. Well, sure. Like the consequences of a Target getting destroyed is different to the consequences of some small like mom and pop store getting destroyed. You know. But yeah.
They graffitied the headquarters building, and then they graffitied the municipal court building, broke all of the lower windows out there. The group then headed back north on 3rd Avenue, all of the while continuing to damage businesses along the way. They then made it to the West Precinct, where this group confronted officers outside. The protesters then lit mortar-type fireworks.
Actually, do you know what? Red Comet does make a good point as well. It's all very well this police officer telling us what happened, okay? Where can we see like the proof? Like, why are we just believing this police officer? Hey, Dopes Monk, thank you so much for the sub. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, listen, the trouble is obviously a court building getting destroyed. It's like porn to a conservative. It's like hate anger porn. Like, they hate that shit. Do you know what I mean? But it's irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything.
And then threw them at officers from a very close range. The devices
Wait,
that
what's
they
this
threw...
meme? With your automatic weapons, shields, armoured vehicles and high explosives, woe is you, the poor undefended police officer wearing Kevlar. Yeah, sure. They complain the news is an agenda, then proceed to play a clip directly from the police. Oh my god, that's such a good point. I love it.
Can blind, maim, and kill people when thrown from these short of distances. Excuse me. The result is at least 12 officers during this confrontation were injured. At least one officer is being treated at the hospital after fragmentation entered his neck and throat area.
And this is the reality of the situation.
Yeah, guess what? Being a police officer is a dangerous job. So unfortunately, this is what I always say about people that are police officers or landlords or business owners. Listen, if you don't like the risks of your job, okay, I would recommend that you seek out other employment. Alright? If the risks of the job are that severe to you. I don't feel any sympathy when police officers get injured, because it's part of the job. Like, deal with it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Did you not know it was going to be dangerous when you signed up?
And the more the moderate Democrats and independents see what's actually happening on the streets and see the Democrat inaction, which is enabling this to continue, like in Portland, for instance, which is probably the best example right now, for over 50 nights, well, who do you think they're going to vote for when push comes to shove? It's definitely not Sleepy Joe. And if you guys need further proof of it, that Democrat Portland is ran by a bunch of incompetent leaders, check out this one from the Portland Police Bureau. Portland police do not engage crowds during the night, and you wonder why it's a complete mess every single night. For
power of the proletariat, people. If there's hope, it lies in the pros, baby. Let's go.
50 nights straight because of Democrat inaction, Democrat policy, and the lack of Democrat leadership. And now the absolute last thing that we have to cover are the primaries. Two specific stories here. Now I've showed you guys a primary model which states that there's a 91% chance of Trump being reelected based on the primary model. Well, in Pittsburgh, a Democrat is being outraged.
Oh yeah, listen, a lot of this, much of this information will be flashed up to you in the form of headlines and clips and news articles. And you will have absolutely no idea. You will have no idea what the full context is, what the full article says. It's just like completely absurd, misdirection because you don't know where the information is coming from. The worst person, I don't know if you know this, but Paul Joseph Watson, right, in his videos references his own articles that he's written. He doesn't link them. He just he still clips out his own headlines. You see what I mean? The Soyboy Master Chat.
Is GOP challenger. Check out the story, Connor Lamb outraised by PA challenger. Parnell, a U.S. Army combat veteran, raised an impressive $717,000 in the second quarter compared to Representative Connor Lamb, a fellow military man who raised only $444,000 in his bid to defend his Western Pennsylvania House seat. Radical lefties and lefty leaders who have let their cities plunge into absolute chaos are being
I mean, wait. This is literally like picking out a drop of water from a swimming pool of information to go, oh look, this supports my point. I don't even know if it does.
held accountable by the electorate. You guys remember this guy, Jeff Van Drew? He left the Democrat Party, voted against impeachment, and joined the GOP. Well, he just won the GOP primary in New Jersey. So it seems as though there's a trend. And this notion of the secret Trump supporter
He's pointed to like 2 articles. He's like, wow, seems like there's a trend here.
may actually be a thing after all. There's 2 anomalies in the 2020 election, the silent majority and the secret Trump supporter. And this right here may represent the independents who will decide the fate of the country in 2020. But that's pretty much the video that I got for you guys today. Like usual, if you enjoyed it, then please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video, since that's by far the best thing you can do.
Hey, look at this one dude. This is clearly a trend. Well, 2 dudes, I guess. I don't know.
Support the channel. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. Check out my subscribe star. Link is also in the description. Now it's time for me to get back to cooking up some more content for you guys. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Oh my god. These channels are all the same. Oh, the liberal hive mind. Listen. Yeah, I know. The groan. Sorry to subject you to that, but I just couldn't resist. I mean, come on. Look. This is the first thing I saw. I was like, damn, I've got to cover this channel at some point. Anyway, listen. I know. Okay. Obviously, let's just finalise this and say, what was the title of the video again? Liberals leaving the Democrat Party as Dem leaders enable mayhem. Moderates are defecting to Trump. I mean, there was literally like a couple of people that like switched sides. That was it. Anyway, let's just say the proof will be in the pudding. We'll find out come November what the situation is, what goes down. We'll see who wins out, okay?